This one's kind of fun because, yes, it's Alberti Popaj once again. This is your choice of the men's or the women's. And I love doing a little twin with my partner in crime because that's cute, right? This is the Summer Sunset Sweater. No reorder on this one, though. It's A661381. All right, so women's are in front. Okay, so the women's are going to be in front. Thank you for that note, because I was looking at this like, uh-oh. Women's are in front, and then I'm going to show you the colors of the men's. There are 2 colorways in each one. And they're kind of easy to figure out why they're named what they're named. So this is, first of all, $22 off, under $50, a $10 easy pay. Starting with the women's, this is the women's in the sunset. So it's that really beautiful, inspired by the sunset colors. And then this is the women's in the dawn. So again, that like breaking dawn, when, you know, that moment when it goes from black and all of a sudden, the birds start chirping first. The birds give it away before anything else. And that sun, I don't know if you face north, south, east, or west, but you can tell that the sun is starting to come up. And with that, everything is coming to life, but it starts in these shades of blue. That's going to be your dawn. So these are the women's sunset, dawn. In the men's, same colorways, but a little different coloring. This is the sunset instead of the pink like the women's have. This has a tan bottom in the color blocking. And I think this is samesies on the women's, right? Yeah. And the women's is exactly, the men's and the women's is exactly the same in the dawn. So the only difference is the men's and women's, the pink versus that tan color. Okay. Now the dawn is more limited across the board, but if you want it in the men's, there's only 5 dozen in the dawn. Okay, only 5 dozen in the dawn and the men's. And if you want the men's in the sunset, 140 remain. Again, so that's the men's, and then the women's dawn, very limited, and the women's sunset. All right, 30% savings, $22 off the price, no reorder here. We have sizes for the women's extra small through 5X and the men's extra small through 5XL. So let's take a look at it on the girls. Because you can see how the colored blocking, it's also strategic. It kind of like varies in the size of the striping. You get that color blocking in that darker color right across the shoulders and the top of the chest. Then you get those really beautiful shades. It's not quite an ombre, but it's a really perfectly placed stripe. And then it goes into that beautiful white or that pink on the women's. The gauge of this sweater is perfect. It's 76% viscose, 24% nylon, a light crew neck, different proportions of the stripes, beautiful, bright, bold colors. I have worn this sweater and I love it. Bill, you own both of the colors? Bill owns both. You're looking at Alberti wearing it in the men's sunset. You can see side by side between Ellen, and they're both in the sunset. The women's is pink on the bottom. The men's is that tan color, but everything else is the same. A lot of great ribbing against the crew neck, along the cuffs and the bottom hem right here as well. So it's going to get this really lovely shape. But summertime sweaters are an absolute must. You can see that this is a light gauge. The fabric is beautiful, almost silky, cool hand to it. You can see how it drapes really nicely, but really bright, bold, fun colors, especially in that sunset. So in the sunset, the women's, that nice creamy white at the top, you can even see like that really beautiful fabrication into those sunset colors. If you've ever been to the beach, I can only think of like Malibu because that's my beach growing up, and I loved nothing more than watching the sunset. Maybe you're at your favorite restaurant that's on the water. I'm looking at you, Joffrey's. Going from that creamy white into that beautiful yellow, that orange, the red, and the pink. These are the colors of a California sunset like none other. It's just, it bursts to life. It really, really does. That final flash before the sun goes down, I just love it. There's this photograph from this photographers that I know, and I need to find it, that really represents that California sunset with the palm trees going down Ventura Boulevard. I really want it blown up. So now you see the sunset in the men's also. The same way, the same colorways from top to chest, and then the only difference in the men's is that it has that tan color on the bottom. But let's talk about dawn, shall we? I never thought I liked the dawn. I'm not a morning person. Here's the thing. If I have the 7 a.m. show, which I sometimes have, I am up at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm rough. It's really, really rough. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm in the studio by 4:30, 4:45. But sometimes, every once in a while, I get to see the sunrise. There's something that's so funny. Like if I had to wake up 5 o'clock or earlier, it's okay. It's when I have to wake up between 6 o'clock and like 8:30 that it's a disaster for me. A disaster. But really, really early or sleeping in, I'm great at. So this is the dawn, that early morning dawn. You hear the birds chirping first, and then the colors just sort of start coming to light, the colors of the earth, those natural colors, but it all starts with that beautiful blue sky. And this is that sky blue, and it kind of just has that color blocking from it just gets a little darker, 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 but then it bursts into white. So think about the sun coming up and you see those really bright clouds, and these are those really beautiful breaking dawn colors. The colorways are exactly the same in the men's as it is in the women's. I'm going to tell you the length on the men's and the women's real fast. So the men's is 26 to 32 inches, and the women's is 24¼ to 30½ inches. It's a $10 easy pay. I think that this is kind of like sporty, cool, casual, but playing with proportion in the color blocking, playing with color, inspired by the sky. The sun coming up and the sun going down. What happens in between? Well, that's up to you. But this is A661381. Same price for the men's and the women's, $49.99, when it used to be a $72 sweater. This is an expensive feeling looking sweater with all that nylon and viscose, but today it's coming home $22 off of that price, under $50, and a $10 easy pay. So this is the dawn. This is the sunset. Same colorways for the men's and the women. The only difference is the sunset men's versus women's with that tan bottom versus the pink. Now the dawn is most popular and is the most limited. A661381, that is your item number to bring home Alberti's summer sunset sweater.